Hello everyone, and welcome to the Giant Monster Podcast, which is our technical first recording, but not really, but whatever.
And whose fault is that? That's because you didn't check the microphone levels.
Yeah, well, whatever. This isn't even our first recording of this version, so let's just get on with it.
No, well, let's not mention the 2 hours we spent trying to get this to work. But
yeah, that's fine.
So, what's today's topic? What have you decided that we talk about?
Overrated stuff.
Overrated stuff. What's the first? That we're talking movies?
Frozen.
It's always Frozen with you. Always Frozen. But
do I want to build a snowman? No, go fuck yourself.
Okay. I'll admit, like, I've been like hard on Frozen, especially after it first came out. After I first saw it, I'll admit I like the film. It's good message, good animation. It's not as good as everyone says it is. Simply because I don't want to just point to how it should have ended as said, like that, like the parents make no sense sending her, like keeping her locked up.
It's just a message about poor parenting.
It's like why would you just keep her locked up? It's a stupid idea.
I don't even know where to go. Like this, honestly, I like the message behind like sisterly bond. Don't get me wrong, that's pretty, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see female lead protagonists that aren't just like your straightforward like, hey, look at me, I am a princess, even though they are princesses.
Yeah. And I do love the moment where, or was it Elsa, like, blatantly, like, contradicts what is it? How long has this been around? Like, almost a century of history, like, saying, it's all about, like, you just have to meet someone and then that's it, happily ever after. And she's like, no, this is stupid, you can't do this.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
For me, personally, it was always Olaf. When the sidekick is basically all the character that you have in a film, it's like, come on.
Well, I'll say this, man, right? I've watched all the Disney films. I've seen some shit sidekicks. I've seen sidekicks that like ruin films for me, like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Those gargoyles absolutely ruin it for me. It's like, and like all they need to do is just make him like they're in his head, and that'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, number 2 ruins that because they actually
are real.
Yeah, they are real because the girl he gets with, his love interest, spoilers, she actually sees them and like she speaks to them. Yeah. That's dumb.
But Olaf, he's like, he doesn't ruin it for me. He's fine. He's cute.
I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I hate it because I want to hate it because everyone else loves it because I'm a cynical bastard.
Well, no, it's just because we can't see what everyone else sees, and when we look at it in a more deeper way, analytical way.
I've crapped on a load of movies I liked as a kid. Like I can fully see. I told you I don't like Aladdin anymore. I just can't stand the characters. Aladdin teaches you that stealing's fine as long as you're handsome. Is inside it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you're rich. And then this is not a good message, and the only decent character in it is Genie.
I wouldn't really call it that. I'd just say don't trust a man whose parrot is voiced by, what's his name, Gilbert Godfrey. Why would you ever listen to someone like that? Have you ever
heard the dirtiest joke ever told?
What's that?
By Gilbert Godfrey. I don't want to talk about it because it makes me physically sick. But let's just say it involves a family and they're going in front of a talent agent, and it involves a lot of things in a lot of orifices.
I think it's best to leave it.
Yeah, we should leave it there. But if you want to check it out, check it out.
So Frozen's your go-to one when you're talking about overrated stuff. So with me, what do I find overrated?
Don't pretend you don't already know.
What?
Just don't pretend you already know.
Not the Hunger Games?
Yeah. You've been hungry to talk about this one, haven't you?
Well, not really, just because I announced it as, when I was more into Facebook, I announced it as the second one. What was the second one called? Catching Fire.
They make up birds.
As the worst film I've ever seen.
Hunger Games, Zapdos.
And I still think that'd be the case, because I'll admit, like, when I watched the first one, I hadn't watched Battle Royale, so I was like, oh, this is a really cool idea. I'm interested to see what it is, because, like, I was missing some Harry Potter. I was like, Harry Potter's gone, what's to fill that void? Oh, something that's kind of like in that same vein. It's not Twilight shit, but it's almost like tweeny enough. Hey,
the baseball scene's good in Twilight. That's about it. I love her dad.
I don't want this to turn into I hate Twilight hour, but
because you did say stuff that's overrated.
Yeah, but no one likes Twilight except the people who are deluded about it. But because
the people who write fan fictions and it becomes 50 Shades of Grey.
Everyone's already agreed, like, Twilight's gone. Let's leave it dead and let's not give it any more attention than it needs to. But with Hunger Games, I was like, everyone's like, when the second one came out, they declared it as the best film of 2013. I was like, what? Where did this come from? Nothing happens to it in it, and it's exactly the same film as the first one. Like with the first one, like what happens in it? There's a good setup. Like, I like how it's kind of like almost a parody of reality TV. It doesn't really go anywhere with it, but
Yeah.
it starts off. But it's just the Hunger Games itself. It's just a big ball of nothing, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, you can say that, oh, they're teaming up because they want to kill her. It's like, well, what happens when they kill her? Like, they've got to kill each other. Like, are they friends now? What happens when they've got to do it? They can't all win.
Well,
So
Battle Royale did it a lot better because the whole thing was just about them trying to get out of it.
well, the only thing that Battle Royale has in common with the Hunger Games is just the aspect that it's just young people killing each
but then
other.
again, everyone goes on like, oh my god, Hunger Games copied Battle Royale, but it's not exactly
really.
like it's not an original idea.
Because Battle Royale isn't the first thing to have ever done something like this. But by Battle Royale,
Yeah.
it just got it so right because it has a lot of rules as well, but it makes the film a lot more tense.
I like Battle Royale because it feels more real, because it doesn't
Yeah.
hide behind this whole fantasy universe where this is all like normally acceptable. It's just Japan and the population's like
And like when people say like, "Oh, it's much more gory," not really. It's just more grittier. It's like more
it's because
hard.
it's darker in
Yeah.
terms of lighting and actual plot development.
But with the second one, I was thinking, right, they can't possibly be any worse than that first one because that was just like a
We're
torturous.
talking Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second one, because I was like, okay, we can only go up from there because that was so bad, the first one, and like because they got a good idea, they got, you know, like what you see on TV, like all the celebrities who come back who've won it before, and like that's a really cool idea. You got all these new cool characters with new abilities, and then when you see it, it's like. It's the exact same film as the first one, just worse. Just them standing around doing fuck all.
Do you know why I knew this before the film franchise became a film franchise, when they were like leaning towards it with the books?
What's that?
Because it's just Big Brother with frigging weapons.
No,
And does Big Brother ever get any different?
no, and they don't really do anything in Big Brother. It's just watching them do nothing, and that's the Hunger
Exactly,
Games.
and that's what Hunger Games is.
And they just run for some stuff, for some magical, like, what is it, acid fog? Just turns them and kills them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Does anyone know?
I still haven't seen the split parts of the other fucking ones, but I'm not going to probably.
Oh no, they're just trying to do a Deathly Hallows and split it as much as
But
they
that's the
can.
thing. Deathly Hallows needed to be split into because there was a lot in that one.
I know you've explained this to me why. We could sit here and argue for an
Oh,
entire
we'll wait
time
until we
about
actually
this.
need to talk about Harry Potter. but
Oh
we'll
yeah,
leave
that will be a subject one day.
But yeah,
Well,
I
I want to move swiftly on to something that I've discovered recently. I find overly, and I'm stretching this out,
What's that?
hyped.
What's that?
And people are going to hate me, but if not, people are already going to hate you for Hunger Games. Star Wars.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I hate that I hate it a little bit, but I do love sci-fi, I love fantasy, don't get me wrong. Princess Bride is a beautiful movie. I'm starting to learn to appreciate the Alien franchise more. I've always been in Star Trek, Stargate, blah 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 blah. Right. Not only is there such an elitist fandom for it, it's like, well, you like that movie, well, you're a piece of shit, go die. But it's also the fact that George Lucas himself never seems to know where he wants to go with this.
You know what it is? It's unfortunate that we didn't grow up with it because, for me, like when the new ones were coming out, my parents were looking to show me the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, I
Did
saw
yours-
episode 1 with my dad, and it
Yeah.
was like one of a really nice bonding moment with him.
But was that the first one you ever saw?
No, I had seen Emperor Strikes Back around a friend's house because for some reason, instead of showing me, the original 2, he decided to show me... No, sorry, not Emperor Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. He showed me the last one first.
Yeah.
And then that's how I watched it. I watched 6, 1, and then 4, 5, 2, 3.
But because with me, like I watched all the other ones and got really familiar with them. I can't stand the prequels. I liked them when I was a kid because I was a kid. I didn't know any better. But now watching them, it's like George Lucas shouldn't have been in charge of this. I don't really want to talk about it just because the prequels. We all know this shit. We all kind of accept that.
But number 3 is actually my favourite film out of the whole franchise. Arguably on par with A New Hope, because I like New Hope. Right, A New Hope is one of the best ones because it's the most fantasy one, and it puts science fiction aside for a couple bits of the movie, and it's about a boy's journey into manhood.
Yeah, because
You
I've
can't
always
argue with that. That's what it is, and it's beautiful.
I've always thought that Star Wars should be more like it should be more science. It should be more considered fantasy than it is science fiction.
100% agreed. But that's why I like number 3 more, because it's the flip side. It's just pure action.
My problem with 3
General
is
Grievous, man. General Grievous.
Don't talk to me about General Grievous in that movie, because right, you remember when we first saw General Grievous, when that awesome Genndy Tartakovsky series was on, when they first introduced him, and it was like the most badass.
You mean the
like,
series that had the best fight of all time with Kid Fistu that was never like mentioned in movie like franchise at all?
Like they created him before like George Lucas got a hold of him, because George Lucas had a very specific vision for what he wanted him to be like, and like then they ruined it completely by making him a coward, like almost like a Starscream like character, and like. It's awesome because he's got such a cool design, such a cool power set, and it's like he's just pathetic. And then when he's in that new clone series, it's even worse. It's just I
just like him. I liked him in the movie genuinely just because
it was nice.
Just lightsabers everywhere.
It was nice to see him, but when you watch it again, you're like, the effect doesn't hold up. And
can you see where I'm trying to get at? That I think the franchise, the people who love it too much, and the people that can't give it the time of the day. They're not giving it a time of day for the wrong reasons.
I just hope this new one's good.
Oh God! Oh, that's a whole kettle of new fish there.
It's like like I don't. it's just hard because like I want it to be really good, but it's like this is coming from the guy whose last movie was Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, you know that. When we do the segment on things that are underrated, we're going to talk about that because
you are because I don't like Star Trek Into Darkness.
I know. But Benedict Cumberdoodle,
he's not gone.
Gone. Yeah, but he is.
Well, we'll discuss that later on.
He was a better version.
Better version.
Right, we'll do an entire segment on Star Trek through the ages. Is that agreed? Can shake on that, yeah.
Fair enough. We'll get to that.
And we'll do like a full segment on the Star Wars franchise because I mean we could talk about it for days.
Oh, yeah,
anyway, let's just cut it here because we're starting to ramble now.
So what are we moving on to next?
The next segment will be probably anime because I think we've got a fair bit to talk about. For instance,
it took me a while to figure out what that theme was.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. We have a Twitter
Shouldn't I be
account.
Listening?
Well, technically they're watching. Okay. It's on YouTube. I get confused because it's not a SoundCloud, which it was meant to be. But thank you for listening then. Thanks for making me sound like a fool. You should check out... I'll do it myself anyway. Check out the Twitter account. Or you can check out our Facebook account. And if you like this video, please leave a like, and then we know whether or not to make more, or whether or not we're just fooling ourselves into thinking people actually want to hear us talk.
And tell us if we're shit or not, because we'll actually listen and try and change it.
Yeah, we'll improve. Maybe not. You never do.
Mm-hmm.
And you could think about subscribing, and then we know like if people actually like our videos.
Subscribe now.
Yeah, subscribe. Do it now. I'll kill you.
It will.